So, you know, confrontation. Do you not love that album by Bob Marley? Um, I am, I'm ready to talk again, kind of a thing. You say one thing, and I don't buy that really. I mean, I would if the elevator went all the way to the top, man, and it's like, yay! I'm glad we have an understanding, but it's like, I'm sorry, I have to think about that and kind of try and sleep over it. I would love to think that I met some amazing neighbors, that really are restoring the meadow, and I know I'm making a big deal about this, but this is where Nietzsche needs to put on the straitjacket and say, "Sure, no, I don't see how crazy you people are. Just put me in the mental institution, will you, please?" Because here I am, like tomorrow. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't want to live like this, though. I don't really live like this. Here's what I hope that happens. I was like, God, are these people? But I have to depend on them. No, I can mind my own business. Something better can happen rather than everybody diagnosing me as being crazy. You know, I think that I'm not perfect. See, this is it. I'm ready to say no. I'm very sick. I'm sick from what I've been looking at. The society is sick, and you can't get hardly. You have to detox. You do. And it's, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's a daily, you should have a daily routine that keeps you away from just being any sicker than you really are. See, if I say that, see, I'm surrounded by narcissists. See, I'm trying to tell them society is sick. You're sick, honey. You're fucking breathtaking. And it comes with some strange language, that I'm like, I think this needs to change. These people still think they're in the city, and they say, which it should never happen, really. It's just like, did you know that one affects the all? One affects the all. You want to know this? I know that you think I live in a fantasy world, and I do. You think it's a fantasy to you, the universe, that you go wherever that you keep focusing, just keep, even though it's not quite here, but just imagine how it's true, that one affects the all. You don't have to imagine it. Just imagine that everything gets washes back into the water. That's the all, right? That's Pisces. Pisces is the all. It's the ocean of all of existence. That's what astrology points at. All 12 signs is this journey of awakening in human consciousness, and then we get to the entire mess, the ocean of consciousness, which is the ocean of life. It's all of it, and it is. It's like, to me, it's like talking about the universe out there. We have no idea. Um, just in case you wanted to go to a place that is far more easier to manifest. How about that, or something like that? So one affects the all. That's what we're here to learn. A little tiny butterfly flicker over there. It's called the butterfly effect, right? Not so much what you think either, because if you want to know about human beings, uh, more like you want to know about the nature of thought that affects the plasmatic field. There isn't anything that will unless it's aligned to something like that's holy, and that means now you're praying. The true state of prayer is complete alignment to its harmonization. It's like this amazing vibrational frequency that when you keep singing it, it's a state of singing or celebrating, and then all it's doing is acknowledging. Now, if you're a human, you would get into the plasmatic field that's around you. Just take a deep breath and say thank you, and You know, these people that say, I can do anything I want on my land. Please be quiet. If they would just tell me, you know what, we are really grateful to have this land, Shauna. We'll try to be quiet. Then I would probably, I'd probably be like, do you mean that you're not as sick as I me. I am, you are, me. Ah. What do you think about that fucking financial mental institution that we're in? I mean, you think restoring the meadow means to make it flat again? I wish you would have thought of that a little bit. See, this is not the conversation they want. They don't think I'm funny. I think I'm hilarious. Should have grabbed it. I said, I'm looking like fucking Noah's Ark around here. And I am. Everything has crawled. I literally saw it when they were doing something. It was way over there. It was 2 doors down. They were tractoring and doing something. And then I saw these little rodents running towards my house. And I actually saw a mole. I couldn't believe this thing. It was up on the ground, the kind that go underground, and somehow it got to me. And so then I'm like, you can't stay here, because the moles will get your plants. And so I thought I'd try and catch it in a cage. For some reason, all I could do right away, because I knew it could burrow in, but I didn't know it could burrow in at the rate that it did. I am standing on top of hard as clay, like fired clay soil. And this thing, just with, I had pressed it against the ground, but then I was like letting up a little bit so I can get it. Just that little bit of space. It just sank into the ground. And went. And I'm like, how did it do that? It's only just a physical thing. I'm pretty sure it's using some kind of sonic vibration. I don't know, babes. That was shocking. Anyway, thanks for going with my intensity and everything. I don't handle the extravagance of the whatever is happening with the materialist world as the Aquarius moon really on the humanitarian side that says, well, let's work what we know rather than work what the system has us doing. I mean, how logical is it? Like now, getting back to, and it's not the same video, but I guess I'll just. See, I'm getting exhausted. I don't want to confront this because, look, I know that I'm sick with something, and it's because society has gotten sick, and I'm looking at it, and I go out, and I look at it, and I tell you what, I have to detox when I get away from it. I have to get away from it because of the just non-symmetrical, the condition of the human, and I cannot, nobody can, everybody, I'm pretty sure they should be throwing in the towel and trying to work anything, fucking any kind of thing. Really, you should, I'm sorry, there's no shoulds. I think I'm having a problem with saying should, and it's probably a control thing, and it's like, I shouldn't judge, I should. I'm just remaining loosely in the natural state, and if this is what's going to happen, it's going to happen. I bet you anything it passes, and these little butterfly ripples goes out. I bet you tomorrow, if I just confront what comes at me as a friend, they really want to know, like, what's up with you? I'll tell them. But I'll give them the speech like Krishna goddamn fucking Mirti will. That, you know what, you would have to be a retard not to just back up and say, fucking A, you're right. If there's any fucking, they call it soils within you, that you drop a seed of truth and then you fucking book, because it's not fun at first. They're like, blah! But then when they sleep on it and they have a soil that's right, they it shifts things. You're not supposed to. God's supposed to blah blah blah. But you know what? I think that there is a right. This see, Buddhism and so does Thich Nhat Hanh mention. I love Thich Nhat Hanh. He says, he calls it right action or correct, correct way of being or something. That kind of knocks out some of the neighborhoods that say it's all good, or something like that, or that I don't know any difference, or prove it, or something like that. It's like, you know what, you people need to get your faculties on first, and then maybe we'll bother. You need to find out how you feel. Bottom line, how do you feel? See, I would like them to slow down over there. Notice it's like, okay, so if you're not going to be living here, you're just going to come in and out here, and you're tractoring on your yard. You're saying that you want to get your house done first, but you want to do this tractoring. I'm looking at people that are trying to calm me down, and that's fine. It's good to communicate, but I don't need the wool pulled over my eyes, and you can't lie to me that where they come from is I'm sorry. This is a time right now that it's like if I can't yeah, I guess I need to calm down, but really, how do they calm me down? I'm not saying that I know it's my job to calm my down. I don't know see where I'm at, and I'm going to tell these people, and this is where humanity is, and this is where you are, and this is where I am. It's time to start talking with each other. It's time to acknowledge that we're here. And you know what? You don't even acknowledge that you're here. Talking to these neighbors here. The non-present, present society. Your money isn't enough of a presence. Sorry. You have to be a lot more creative than that. You're too busy. I deal with this shit that comes in. We're restoring the meadow, and then it leaves, and it comes back. I'm like, well, wait, where are you going? I want to talk about what that means. Because did you know it was needing help to begin with? I mean, yes, but did you know that there was stuff going on that could have been left there? It was perfectly it had things in it. Like if a meadow, to me, a meadow, these meadows, um, cat is trying to get out, and I should turn this off. I'm really actually I can't. I want to be left alone tomorrow. I don't want anybody. I don't want to confront anybody. I'm experiencing something that I know that it's like, you know what? You don't know my life. I'm done talking. As far as whatever, I will be there. I will confront it all. Unlike I'm confronting my cat, she doesn't meow like this. Because I'm a little bit upset, and she wants to go just do what she wants to do. Why are you upset, Shauna? Because I'm not letting myself sleep about this. It's another call the sheriff on me thing that happened. And and now I'm worried about tomorrow. And if I can just be left alone, the call for me is to get on with my life, which I live in the mountains. I get ready for wintertime, and I move into meditation, and I am progressing in something that these people, you know what, it would be only, they would have to be really cool to get close enough to me to let them know who I am. I just can't have this distraction. I need to tell them. It's like on this fucking plane, I have to tell them, you know what, babes? You need to figure out what you're doing here. Just make them, just say that. Just say that to people. Ask them, did you ever figure out, did you ever ask yourself where you are and what you're doing? And why do you think the way you do? And really, what are you doing? Huh? Really? Because now and I'll be honest with these people, I will. See, the only hope is that the woman is more coherent than the guy. And the thing is both of them aren't so far, not to me. What do I mean? Well, how do you know, Shauna? Why are you so condescending? Well, no, I mean, just basically, in general, if you look, coherency means unfragmented awareness, like you're solid on it. I'm looking at it. Coming in, tracked around, go. Come in, build a fence, go. Come in, call your dog, go. And it's like, I'm tired of this already. Hello, I'm here and you're here too. Order, order, order. Okay, all right. If that woman, she told me, I think she says she's a Pisces rising. No, she's a Taurus rising. Taurus rising? Hi, boo. That's Venus ruled, but I'm an Aries rising and I'm a Mars person. And I'm a little bit more aggressive. Maybe, she just wants peace and stuff, and I get it. And I already told her I love her. I said, you know what? I am so embarrassed that I didn't know. I just thought you were going to build a house there. Automatically, I just told, and so I went through my motions with that. I'm like, thank God you're not building a house. But now it's like, wait a minute, restoring the meadow? You know, see, I already had this conversation with her. It whipped right out. It ripped that right out, and like within a minute, within seconds, it flashed because that's the way I am. I just flash before my eyes. She goes, "We're restoring the meadow," and I'm like, "Oh God!" And then, she's like, and I was like, it's just gonna come right back. It's just gonna come right back. And I meant, when you stop fucking with it, flowers and things are gonna come up, guaranteed. And even the water will start carving away through it. But they're thinking that they have to do something, and it's like, yeah, okay, okay. But then see, we got into, she was talking about, well, I have this bulb and that bulb, and you want to trade bulbs, and bulbs. And it's like, well, I wonder if she knows what bulbs work up here. Pretty much none of them, unless you do. I'm like, okay, so you want to come and go look at the cage gardens that people have. They're gonna like plant things, other things, like what? You know, and they're not here long enough to have this conversation with me. I'm sitting here like a crazy person. This is supposed to be the sickest thing about me, by the way. That's what they think. It's like, no, the sickest thing about me is just literally not being able to give to this shitty fucking sick society who thinks that it's so not about that. We go over here and watch the movie. We go vote for your leader way over there. They're going to control our microcosm about this, and your character, and going like this. No, we just and then turn on the movie. I want to be like George Carlin and just do all my. You have to make these facial gestures, or you can't go to court. See, where we're at right now in between, it's like, okay, can you recognize that you might be you might have been just thumbing your power down, and what like my mission is like, well, maybe what if I'm supposed to go to court tomorrow and just say, what, this is the second time that the sheriffs were called on me, and I just want I want you to know my side of the story, and it includes everybody going sick and not excluding me. You see, I do not want to be the only one in the crowd that says, by the way, I'm sick. And it's like, okay, then let's just fucking shish kebab you. Hi, I know that wasn't quite your scene, Jesus, but I have a different story I'm gonna tell. It's her story, baby. Fuck. I'm pretty sure I might have to just move. I have to move to a place that doesn't exhibit such the enclosure. That's really not what I want. I would rather make a breakthrough See, um, I see, I see a bunch of fucking fiddle fucks over here. They're gonna restore the meadow. Since when does the meadow have? What does the stakes have to do with these? They put these yellow pieces of paper. It almost looks like criminal, like off limits. You know, this yellow like crime scene paper. Um, Restoring the meadow, and that includes putting these pathways in. It's like, you know what, babes? Would you like to take a walk out in a real live meadow? You want to take a walk in these meadows over here that are kind of still, I know of some places, but no, my place right over here, you want to see what a trail looks like that is just walked on. It's there because it's been walked on. There's a presence there. Those trails wouldn't be there unless people were walking on it, and it's so remarkable because that's just the way it is. See, I come from the land of Indian and trying to harmonize with this place. I've already had a conversation with the guy. Every single conversation has been a red flag. And this is another thing I wish I could talk with this woman for at least 3 to 4 hours. I would like to know her chart and everything. I think she's more coherent. Because here's my experience. I mean, the guy, her husband, the first thing the very first conversation I had, I noticed that I'm trying to be there present, saying, "Oh, hi, new neighbor." Who tells me that I'm trying to just tell him, I suggested this is a wilderness preservation area, and he kind of basically without even allowing a breath just said, "Oh, this is definitely not the wilderness right here." And I think I've told this story already, but that was a red flag for me. So now when she comes up to me and says we're going to restore the meadows, I'll say, "But I hate to tell you this, but did you know your husband doesn't even think this is the wilderness around here?" And then what else? I don't know. There's other things too. I wish there wasn't such a bother, you guys. See, my cat is feeling it. Everybody's gonna start feeling this thing. And as far as I'm concerned, if I can move just in my most authentic like character and saying, I'm sorry, I really never want any of this to go on either. But I'm just somebody who wants to communicate. I told her that. She's more coherent and she's hanging on the fence and she wants to get to know me, and I'm detecting something there that is like gonna always, probably always, like the narcissist. And now I'm not gonna jump to conclusion, but if I show them the least bit of instability, or even if I say, what, I admit that I'm sick, and if I don't get into my Krishnamurti self and say, and by the way, it's because of the profoundly sick society that I'm having just very little time. I go out and deal with it. Haven't you noticed it? Not symmetrical. People are just, let alone their bodies. And if I say that, she's not going to like it. Why? She needs some work. Sorry. She hasn't been doing any work. No, I take that back. I mean, she's plump and juicy and whatever. And so, but there's a lot that we can, if I think that they might need me, and I might need them somehow, and that's what I'm hoping. I'm going to tell them and say, babes, this guy over here that pours the asphalt, um, he ended up being something. I waited, if you want to like say it like this, I waited 25 years to figure out, is this guy going to give me an authentic wave and say, hi, how are you doing today? Or is it always going to be me doing that? And it's like, Shauna, you're trying to get a psychopath to warm up to you, and you're actually ignoring it. Because who has an electric fence around their property and blah blah blah? I don't want to talk about people. It's like, could you look at it again? And now, of course, he's gonna the top of the cherry on top to whoever the fuck that is like thinks that they're getting a deal from the city, pouring the 12 fucking. I'm not exaggerating about the 12 big ass trucks loads of city grade. And when I say city grade, maybe everything's weaponized right now. Everything you're getting in. So getting back to restoring a meadow, which I didn't know a meadow had a sprinkler system in or something like that. They're putting something over there. It's like, what is that fucking? All right. Just know that the wilderness is going to keep covering it up, and I hope that you guys want to stay busy, huh? That's interesting. I'm not impressed. It fucking pisses me off. How many 15 fucking leaf blowers have made it up on over around here? I'm not really that complaining, but really, I am. This is where I'm going to be, and if I can't be welcomed on my own fucking land, having been here for fucking way longer than them, and they all come in here, and what are they going to do? They think they're going to pinch me out? I feel like I need to go to court, just to go to court, and I should make it like a weekly thing. Everybody should go there and say, "Did you realize that there's a lot of really, 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 really insane people running around? Can you just document this a little bit because?" I'm going sick because of it, and they're never gonna admit. See, one of the hallmarks of insanity is thinking that what is unreal is more real than the real, and there's where when I'm talking about some things there with the new neighbor, and then the asphalt over here, and then how that there is a humanitarian crisis, and if we keep going to the courts and trying representing the real, it's not happening enough. Who wants to do that? Who knows that they're supposed to do that? They're letting that become a living dead scene. It's just a dead thing, not functioning, but just filing so-called misfits that are actually what Jesus would say is you don't judge those people until you figure out what's really going on. Find out who is driving them all crazy, and then making it look like that they're going to take care of it all. That's why you just want to jump on your yacht and go to the Bahamas instead of, no, I got to go to court tomorrow and remind the goddamn judge over here. They're thickening up this side over here because this is what happened. I just want you to know I'm here. They're not even acknowledging they're there. I'll ring a bell and they say, shut up! Because well, what it is we're not talking. And eventually I'm supposed to see all this shit being built up around me. I know what I need to do, and it's going to be an authentic thing. It's just going to be, you know what, I'm going to remain Grandfather Claus. I have an authentic, this is a real life skilled person who lives in the mountains in a cabin. I don't know, babes. That's what I've all been doing, but it might be ending for me. I'm not really hanging on like that. There's so much that can change in my life, and I think it will. The birds are telling me, and I'll wrap this up. Thanks for listening. I've been handling birds and looking into them, and there's the spirit of the bird that just, either they just lift off and fly and get away, or things would drop away and they just lift off and fly. You don't worry about, that's what I really am here, and I would even say, personally for myself, just kind of suggest, and if it's the truth, it might show up every once in a while. I don't know, I'm trying to flap away whenever I get in my fucking bed right there, but eventually that's what we do. That's what this life is all about. We hang on and hang on, and it's like time to, I would rather lift off instead of just hanging on and drop off and fly away. No, let your soul grow so big that it's kind of like getting itchy because it's like, oh, this place kind of sucks. I like, as far as what are you doing? What are you doing? Really? And me? Well, you give a fuck, and then, oh, really? And Jesus, what in the hell has happened?